face of the medial border is major, right? So we'll see now you got a understanding of the overview of the muscles of the back. Now we'll see the triangle of auscultation. So it is bounded medially by the, so here you are able to see the triangular muscle. This is the trapezius. Fine. Then this one is the latissimus dorsi. Okay. Then this is the scapula. Right. So the one, the space you are seeing here, this is the triangle of auscultation. Right. So medially, so in this triangle, the medial border, this is the midline. So this is the medial border, which is formed by the infralateral border of the trapezius muscle. So this is the lateral boundary, lateral border of the trapezius muscle, and then medially, the medial border of scapula forms the lateral boundary, and then the base is formed by the superior border of the latissimus dorsi. Fine. So, and the floor is formed by 6th and 7th ribs and 6th intercostal space. So, the clinical significance is that it is subcutaneous. So, in the thoracic cavity anteriorly, lungs are present, right? So, in all over the back and front of the trunk, the lungs are covered either by muscles or bones. So it is never subcutaneous. But in this area, it is subcutaneous. So if the arms are, when the arms are folded anteriorly, the space becomes subcutaneous and you will be able to clearly hear the sounds of the lower lobe of the lung. Okay. Fine, understood? Iqbal Jawad, what is the problem? Yes.
Ma'am, there is background voice disturbance.
Oh, that is a problem. So here, work is going on in sir's room. Apparent? Hello? 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 Now? Now? Okay, so did you understand triangle of auscultation or do you want me to repeat?
Ma'am, please repeat it.
Okay, I'm repeating again. So you understood the overview of the back, right? Muscles. Yes or no? The previous one. Okay, I'm repeating the triangle of auscultation again, right? So this is the triangular muscle, is the trapezius muscle, right? So this is the medial border of scapula that is forming the lateral boundary of the triangle, and then this is the infralateral border of the trapezius muscle forming the medial boundary, and then base of the triangle. So triangle has two sides and a base, right? So the base is formed by the superior border of latissimus dorsi, right? Am I not clear? Is or there is because of the disturbance? Again, back.
Background sound is very loud.
am I audible now? Okay. So medial border formed by the lateral border of the trapezius muscle, lateral boundary by the medial border of scapula, then base is formed by the superior border of latissimus dorsum, right? And the floor is formed by the 6th and 7th ribs, right? And then 6th intercostal space, right? So the clinical significance is that only at this place the lung becomes subcutaneous, right? It is not covered by any muscles or bones. You will be able to auscultate the lower lobe of the lung properly. Fine. So that is the importance of triangle of auscultation. See, if you see in a live person, so you are able to see this is the outline of trapezius muscle, triangular, right? Yes. Then this is the scapula, medial border of scapula, and this is the latissimus dorsi. Okay. So this space is the triangle of scapula. Fine. Sorry, triangle of auscultation. Here also you can see this area corresponds. So this will be the 6th rib, 7th rib and 6th intercostal space. Fine. Now the next topic is anastomosis around the scapula. Okay. For that you have been taught axillary artery and its branches in the morning, right? So do you remember? Answer me. Okay. So how many parts is it divided into axillary artery?
3.
3, right? So it starts from what? What is its starting point? It is from the first rib, right? So this is the first rib. Yes. So this is the outer border of the first rib, and then this is the subclavian artery, which continues downwards, and then it ends by the, what is this muscle? Teres major, lower border of teres major, right? And then it is divided into 3 parts by the pectoralis minor muscle. Fine. So what are the branches? So each part, first part gives rise to 1 branch, second part gives rise to 2 branches, third part gives rise to 3 branches, right? So first part gives rise to superior or supreme thoracic artery, right? Then second part, it is lateral or long thoracic and thoracoacromial, right? So thoracoacromial has 4 branches. So what are the 4 branches? Anyone? Do you know the mnemonic? APCD.
No, ma'am. Please tell the mnemonic.
Okay. So the mnemonic is APCD, right? A is for acromial, right? So A, B, C, D. Right? So A is acromial branch. It is, each branch goes to a certain region, right? So the one which is going to the acromial process, that is acromial branch, and then pectoral branch. You know the pectoral region, right? So that is the pectoral branch, right? Pectoral branch, and then the one going to the clavicle is clavicular branch. Okay, clavicular. It is very difficult to pronounce. Okay, and then ACPD. D. Any guesses? Where will it go?
Deltoid.
Deltoid. Correct. So that is the deltoid branch. So APCD, very easy to remember. Then third part, there are 3 branches. So first part 1 branch, second part 2 branches, third part 3 branches. Okay. So one is the subscapular artery, right? And then subscapular artery gives rise to circumflex scapular artery, which participates in the anastomosis. So remember this branch, right? So one branch is the subscapular artery, right? Then The other two branches are the anterior and posterior circumflex humeral artery. Circumflex, wherever you hear the word, it means that it is going around it, right? So if we say circumflex scapular artery, it is going winding around the scapula. So if we say circumflex humeral artery, it will be winding around the humerus, right? Okay, so this is the recap. Now we'll see the anastomosis. So what is anastomosis? Anybody? Any idea what is meant by anastomosis? So anastomosis is it is interconnection between branches of different arteries so that collateral circulation can be maintained, right? So if one artery gets blocked, the other will supply. So the total blood supply to any part of the body is not compromised. Fine. So in case of scapular anastomosis, the branches of subclavian and axillary artery is happening around the scapula. Fine. So there are three sites of anastomosis. So you know the scapula, right? In this is the superior border. This is the, which is this? Medial or lateral? Medial, right? So this is the medial. This is the lateral side. This is the medial. This is the lateral, right? So around the body of scapula, there are three sites, one major anastomosis and one minor anastomosis. Two major are occurring, one in the body. So this is the body of scapula. Another major anastomosis near the, what is this part? Which angle is this? Inferior angle, right? So inferior angle of scapula. And then there is one minor anastomosis which is occurring around the acromion process, right? So near the body of scapula, near the inferior angle of scapula, then around the acromial process. So around the body of scapula, the arteries participating are suprascapular artery. So this is the suprascapular artery. So here you are seeing branches are coming from suprascapular artery. Then circumflex scapula. Circumflex scapula is a branch of anybody. You're able to see here, right? So this is the circumflex scapular artery, which is a branch of subscapular artery, which is in turn a branch of third part of axillary artery. See, suprascapular artery, branch of subclavian artery, circumflex scapular artery. This is the circumflex scapular artery, which is a branch of subscapular artery, which is a branch of axillary artery. Fine. So these are two, and another one is dorsal scapular artery. So dorsal scapular artery is a branch of subclavian artery. Sometimes it, in case of anomalies, it can also be this is the medial border of scapula, right? It can also supplied by deep branch of transverse cervical artery. So it can be dorsal scapular artery or deep branch of transverse cervical artery. But in the end, both are branches of subclavian artery. Fine. So
excuse me, ma'am. Minor anastomosis occurs near acromial process.
yes.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
So in your Vishram Singh, it is given only two anastomosis, right? But in Graves, it's given two major and one minor, and minor is around acromion, right? Okay. So again, I'll repeat: anastomosis around the body of the scapula. From above, it is suprascapular artery, which is a branch of subclavian artery. Then dorsal scapular artery or deep branch of transverse cervical artery, which is a branch of subclavian artery. And then circumflex scapular artery, which is a branch of axillary artery. Fine. Then inferior angle of scapula, it is directly subscapular artery and either deep cervical artery, deep branch of transverse cervical artery or dorsal scapular artery. Right? These two, only two. Then the minor one over the acromion process, These are all acromial branches of 3 arteries. One is from the posterior circumflex humeral artery, which is a branch of third part of axillary artery. Then another is from the suprascapular artery, which is a branch of subclavian artery. Then thoracoacromial artery, which is again a branch of axillary artery, right? All these 3 arteries, they give rise to acromial branches, which anastomose around the acromial process. Understood? Any doubts? Any doubts regarding the anastomosis?
Ma'am,
Please
please give
repeat
a short recap
anastomosis.
of this
Okay.
scapular anastomosis.
So everybody is able to see the diagram, right? Clear? Okay. So around the body, one major around the body, another major around the inferior angle, one minor around the acromial process, right? So in the body, there are 3 arteries, right? 2 are from subclavian, 1 is from axillary. Axillary one is circumflex scapular artery, right? Which is coming on the lateral side, right? Then which is a branch of subscapular artery, which is in turn a branch of axillary artery. The rest 2 branches are from subclavian artery, right? So from above it is supra, so suprascapular artery, which is a branch of thyrocervical trunk, which is in turn branch of a subclavian artery. For now, you just remember that suprascapular artery from subclavian artery, okay? And then another branch of subclavian artery is dorsal scapular artery. Sometimes it can be deep branch of transverse cervical artery also. Both of these are branches from the subclavian artery. So 2 from subclavian artery, 1 from axillary artery, right? Then inferior angle, only 2, like 2 branches. The one from the medial side is either the dorsal scapular artery or deep branch of transverse cervical artery, both from the subclavian artery, and the axillary is contributed from the subscapular artery directly. Fine, that is the inferior angle, right? Near the acromial process, there are 3 acromial branches, right? One from the thoracoacromial artery, another from the suprascapular artery. Both are branches of suprascapular is a branch of subclavian, and then the thoracoacromial and the acromial branch from the posterior circumflex humeral. Both of these are from the axillary artery, and one from the subclavian, right? So this is the diagram which is given in your Vishram Singh. So here, same thing. Here they are given deep cervical, deep branch of transverse cervical artery. So the clinical importance is, so it serves as a collateral circulation in case there is block in either of the subclavian or axillary arteries, and ensures adequate circulation in the upper limb. Fine.
Collateral circulation means?
What?
Collateral circulation.
Collateral circulation means it is another like pathway, additional pathway. So in case, so here are the anastomosis. So at the capillary level, these are connected. Suppose the subclavian artery is blocked here, and the blood supply is not possible. The axillary artery supplies. So from here, the blood goes from to this side. Okay, it circumvents the block. Suppose the block is here, these branches supply the blood from these branches enters into the axillary artery and then thus reaches the brachial artery. Suppose there is a branch block in axillary artery, same thing. It will go like this and through these branches and enters the brachial artery. So, however it is, somehow they will maintain the blood supply to the upper limb. Understood? There are many anastomosis, not just scapular anastomosis. Around all major, around the elbow and knee also you will find anastomosis, right? So that is the end of the class.